Israeli shelling near a southern Gaza hospital has killed 41 people over the past 2 days, according to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society. The casualties include displaced persons, people who were seeking shelter in the premises of the Amal Hospital in Khan Younis. The Israeli forces said they are expanding operations in Khan Younis while claiming they eliminated dozens of terrorists in the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours. Members of the Palestinian Red Crescent also rushed to the Al-Maghazi refugee camp in central Gaza and evacuated the dead and injured caught in fresh Israeli shelling there. Earlier this week, Palestinian medical officials said that at least 106 people were killed in an airstrike at the camp. Israeli officials have now described the attack as a regrettable mistake.
This was a regrettable mistake. This should not have happened. The choice of munition was incorrect. And when we are dealing with a very complicated war zone, an area that I'll remind you is a unique counter-terrorism challenge that no army in the history of the world has had to deal with, it is inevitable that mistakes will be made.
The Gazan Health Ministry has claimed that 20 people were killed in Israeli shelling at the Shabora camp in Rafah near Egypt. Now, according to the United Nations Humanitarian Office, about 100,000 more people have reached Rafah in recent days after the offensive around Khan Younis intensified further. Meanwhile, Egypt is all set to host a high-level Hamas delegation for talks aimed at putting an end to the war. We are joined by Mohammed Najib from Ramallah. He's a journalist, war correspondent and security analyst. Welcome to the program. My first question to you is, what is the ground situation in Gaza right now as Israeli forces have intensified their attacks? Are hospitals in South Gaza also being targeted?
Yes, on the 84th day of the Israeli war against Gaza, the Israeli military forces intensify and expand its military operation in the middle and southern Gaza, which make no safe place in Gaza for Palestinians. Neither the schools, neither the hospitals and mosques, everything is targeted. And that's justify how the huge casualties, number of casualties. As according to the Palestinian medical sources, 210 Palestinians were killed and another 360 were injured during 20 raids during the past 24 hours, which increase and bring the numbers of those who killed since 7 October right now to 21,000 Palestinians.
Right. You know, the United Nations aid agency a short while ago in Gaza said that a convoy came under Israeli army fire. Now, how is the situation of aid pouring in the besieged strip?
It is very difficult as the United States and the whole world is pressuring Israel to allow the entry of humanitarian aids, food supplies, medical supplies to 2.3 million Palestinians who are suffering since 84 days. But the inter-aid is very little and less responsive to the needs of the Palestinians in Gaza. And even it is difficult for the international organizations, for the Red Cross, for the Red Crescent ambulances to operate, for the international convoy. The hundreds of trucks of food supplies are waiting on the Egyptian side of Rafah crossing, waiting for the Israeli approval and allow them to enter to Gaza.
Indeed. Now, also, can you briefly explain how is the situation in West Bank where the United Nations urged Israel to end unlawful killings?
Yes, actually, the North and West Bank, Tulkarem, Jenin, and Nablus are witnessing since 7 October unprecedented escalation by the IDF, and they arrested more than 4,700 Palestinians, killed 312 Palestinians, and injured more than 2,000, and the daily and night incursions become a routine for the IDF, which they invade all the West Bank cities and refugees camps and towns. And yesterday they launched a huge campaign against the money changer and confiscated 10 million shekels from the money changers. An allegation that those money changers are financially supports Hamas and the Islamic Jihad.
And let's take a look at the focus on Egypt. Now, how hopeful one should be, as Egypt is due to host a high-level Hamas delegation for talks aimed at putting an end to the nearly 12-week war with Israel.
Yes, Egypt tries its maximum efforts to help the Palestinians on a humanitarian level, on the injured who evacuated from Gaza and medically treated in the Egyptian hospital in Sinai, and also to mediate between Israel and Hamas. They have a proposal for Israel and Hamas to prisoner exchange and to reach a ceasefire. But also for the Israelis, they are determined to continue ahead with this war, where they will not stop this war until they achieve their targets against Hamas. And also, they don't allow the entry of the humanitarian food supplies and medical supplies to the 2.3 million Palestinians who are suffering. Now is a winter season, which is cold and rain, which make the life is very difficult for the Palestinian refugees and displaced from northern Gaza to southern Gaza. But the Israelis don't respond even to the United States, the best ally of Israel. So they don't listen to Egypt. Egypt tries its hard efforts, but the Israeli response to that is very limited.
Mohammed Najib, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. We will be continuing to track those developments very closely.
Thank you.